Hello, welcome back. It's character building day. Let's have a look. We have Dark Heresy, the core rulebook. Going to get to that eventually. We've got the 3.5 players handbook for Dungeons and Dragons. We're going to get to that at some point. We've got Pathfinder 2nd edition. Going to get to that at some point. But right now we're doing Shadowdark RPG. Mainly because I was really impressed with the character building process and just how simple and easy it was, and I wanted to demonstrate that in a live stream, and this is why we're doing it. That's why I've picked it ultimately. And so I'm going to do a presentation first. Once I've done a presentation, we're going to go straight into building the character. The presentation is quite quick. I'm going to put up a poll and ask you a question. Feel free to take part in that poll. And I would get some food, some drink, make sure comfortable. You will need dice. Okay, I get my audience, if you're here and you're willing to take part, obviously you need to be a subscriber for 5 minutes to at least be able to take part in that process. But I want you to roll dice. So you need to have 3 6-sided dice, and some polyhedral dice would be useful too. So 20s, 12s, an 8-sided dice, maybe even a 4-sided dice, but yeah, you definitely want 6-sided dice. That's an absolute must for this. Okay, let's get into it, shall we? Let's get started. Where are we here? That's that. Cool. Hi, welcome to HowtoRPG. My name is Fred Weller, and today I want to talk about role-playing games. This is character building. For those of you who are unaware, I do character building every single week, and this is part of that program. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to present you with the basics around building characters for any role-playing game, really. And then what I'm going to do is we're going to build a Shadowdark wizard as our specific example for today. You will need dice, so make sure you have them, and maybe even a pen and a piece of paper might be helpful. But if you don't have those, that's all right. I have the pen and paper at my end, and I have the fillable PDF. All the information for Shadowdark RPG, the quick start, is down in the description, along with a fillable PDF if you need access to that. It is on Drive-Thru RPG in any case. Let's get into the basics of what we need to do. First off, character creation pre-check. Now, I keep going over this. I'm going to continue to say this over and over again because this will eliminate a lot of your problems as a player and also your game master or dungeon master issues and problems that can occur by doing these things. Check with the game master what player options are available for the game being run. You need to talk with them. Your dungeon master, game master, talk with them first. What house rules does the game master or dungeon master use for character creation? Because not everybody uses the same rules. And what sort of house rules do they have for their gameplay? Because that will affect how you can build the character that you want. Build the character for the campaign and the adventure that you're being run through from the information provided. So you build your character to fit the campaign and the adventure, not the other way around. And if the game master or dungeon master does not give you information on what the campaign or adventure is, they don't have to give you spoilers, but they do need to give you enough to build on, okay? Then ask the relevant questions. Ask them for some information so that you can do this. When you say to a game master and dungeon master, can I please have a little bit of information about the campaign and adventure so I can build a character relevant for your campaign and adventure, I can assure you they are on board for that. There isn't a game master. You'd have to be pretty stupid to turn that down. Okay, that's what you want to do. It is much easier for you to build your character for the campaign rather than trying to have everybody doing their own thing, 4 or 5 people, and then for a game master to try and bring that all together. That is often an impossible task or an unreasonable request. So build for the campaign and the adventure. Next, character creation always starts as a group discussion. You are playing a role-playing game, which means that talking and communicating with a group is vital. Now, because it is always going to start with a group discussion, and because you are playing essentially a team game, this is your character is actually part of a team. It is also part of a group machine, a game group machine. You are essentially kind of like playing a team sport. And when you're playing team sports, if you've ever played any kind of team sports, you'll be aware that you need to talk about everything first. You do all your planning and your training together, and then you play together. You have to do everything together for it to be effective. There's no point everybody else going off and doing their own thing. It just doesn't work. Now, that doesn't mean you can't go and research for your character, but the final draft will be done together. That's where it happens. Design characters around all aspects of play so that you don't have a one-trick pony. So that means building around exploration, investigation, discovery, figuring out mysteries, detection, that sort of thing, and then communication so that you can talk with the monsters and the creatures and the aliens and the NPCs or non-player characters in the adventure or campaign. So you can actually talk to them. And then combat. If you only build for combat, then you'll find that you just don't get the full experience. You want to be able to do a little bit of everything. And if you build a character that can only communicate but can't fight and they can't explore very well, then that's going to be a problem too. You're going to find there will be times when everybody needs to be good at doing a particular thing. So try to build for every aspect of the game. Ask what ability or attribute score method is going to be used. There's an ability score for some systems. Sometimes they have an attribute score system. They might even have a skill score system. But whatever ability score or attribute score method that is being used, ask what is available and when you can use it. So can you use a point buy system, and what is the point buy system and how many points do you get? Are you using a standard array, which is set number of numbers that you assign to your abilities or your attributes? Or are you rolling dice? Are you rolling 3 dice or 4 dice or whatever it is? What is the system? Now, when you're rolling dice, always do it in front of the group. Always do it in front of the Game Master and Dungeon Master, so you cannot be accused of cheating. No matter what, this is very important, so make sure you do it. The next is determine what hit point or health point method is going to be used. So how do you determine how many hit points or health points you get? And when can you do this? So that is, are you using the maximum number of hit points or health points that can be assigned to your character when you start? And what is the progression after that? Are you going to be using the average? Are you going to be rolling dice? If you're rolling dice, again, do it in front of the group, do it in front of the Game Master to ensure that you are not accused of cheating. Okay, so that is the pre-check stuff. Now, there's a couple of different types of character sheets available, about 4 different types. You have your standard paper character sheet where you use either pen and pencil. I would suggest pencil is better, and make sure you have a rubber or eraser. Now, a rubber is not a condom here. I'm in New Zealand, not in North America. A rubber, I mean the thing on the end of the pencil, okay? For those of you who call it an eraser, also can be called a rubber. Okay, fillable PDFs. This is a PDF that you can fill out. It's digital. You can print it out. You can have a digital copy as well. It's quite a useful way, and it means that you don't have to worry about putting a hole through your character sheet necessarily, although you'll find you're constantly changing things on a character sheet anyway, so it won't really matter that much. Okay, computer software or a website character builder. I find that 5e has more character builders out there than anything else, but there are some for Pathfinder and Call of Cthulhu and a few other systems. You just have to look around. If you're going to use technology to build your character, make sure you have a backup. I would suggest having a paper version as well, just in case. You never know. Sometimes your phone's not charged. Maybe you lose your character sheet that was on your computer because it gets a virus. Maybe the power goes out and there's no power running into your computer or your laptop, whatever it might be. Okay, smartphones. Smartphone applications, really useful. Character builders, there's a bunch of them out there, and it makes it really portable. It's easy to use. It's digital. Again, probably good to also have a backup paper character sheet as well. Okay, let's go into character creation basics. With all character creation, they kind of fall into the same sort of realm. So I'm going to break this down very quickly. Select the level your character is going to start at and write it down on the character sheet. Your Game Master or Dungeon Master will explain what character level that you'll be starting at, because not every single game starts at level 1. You might be starting at level 0, where you have no heroic levels whatsoever. You're just a commoner. You might be starting at level 3 or 5 or even higher than that. So please ask your Game Master, Dungeon Master, what level I need to build the character to. Okay. Select the class, the career path, the heroic class, the character type for your character. Write it down on your character sheet. Select the species, race, or playable monster type for your character and write it down on the character sheet. Select a background. If your system uses backgrounds, then write it down on the character sheet. If you're using aspects and you're playing something like Fate, then make sure your aspects are complete and readable and legible so that somebody else can read them, not just you. Write that all down on the character sheet. Now, I'm also going to talk just very briefly about backstories. Your character background may include a short backstory in narrative form. This is going to answer 4 or 5 questions that your game master or dungeon master has that they need answered from you around what you did before you went adventuring, okay, before you became a hero. You can also you don't have to always make a backstory. Sometimes it's good enough for your player to create the backstory as they play the game. This gives you maximum flexibility. What it basically means is that instead of creating something that you don't actually play through, you create the backstory as you play the first levels. So level 1 to 3 or level 1 to 4, whatever it might be, that actually indicates what your backstory is before you became a full-blown hero or adventurer. Select the character customization that is allowable by your game master or dungeon master and the system. So a lot of game systems have character customization built into them. Whether that's feats, talents, traits, skills, and other features, select the things that are appropriate that are allowable at your table by your game master. Determine the character's ability or attribute scores with the method that was approved by your game master or dungeon master. So this is where you actually figure out what all the key numbers for your character will be. These key numbers, these ability or attribute scores, determine everything else in the game. Okay, you need to do them reasonably soon. Next, advanced details on your character sheet. Select the powers. If you're playing a superhero game with stunts and powers, select the ones that are appropriate for your character. If you've got magic casting in your game and you're a spellcaster, select the spells for your character, write them down on the character sheet. Select or buy your equipment for your character and write it down on the character sheet. Now this is going to take a little bit longer because there's usually quite a lot more involved and there might be a bit of a list going on here. Often a game system will have a pre-package where you can just buy a pre-package in advance and then you can buy additional stuff after with whatever money, gold or credits you have. Calculate your bonuses. These are all of the numbers that you are going to be using for attacking, making skill checks, making ability checks, making a saving throw, whatever it might be. Okay, performing some sort of dice test. Modifiers for your character, do all the maths. And the math system usually follows a set formula for almost every system that you play. Select or draw a character portrait. It's not vital, but it does help connect your concept in your brain and your imagination with a physical medium, whether that's on paper or a digital file, it doesn't matter. It only needs to be for you. You don't have to show it to anybody else, so you don't need to feel too self-conscious about that sort of stuff. Okay, it's all right. Right. Miscellaneous recommendations. I always like to give out miscellaneous recommendations around character building. First off, all character options are customizable. You can make your own, you can adjust them. You just need to have approval from your game master or dungeon master. That doesn't mean you go and harass them, okay? Like an adult, like a normal, mature individual, okay, you go out there and you say, is this something that you're going to allow in the game? A lot of beginner game masters and dungeon masters don't allow customization because they're still trying to get to grips with the game as it is. But a lot of character options have customization built into them, okay, into the system itself. But have a discussion with them because you may be able to adjust stuff if it's not going to quite fit for you. An adult conversation, like mature people. Right. Character options don't need to be optimized for role-playing games. You do not need to optimize for combat. You don't have to optimize for a particular area of the game. It's all right to make a suboptimal character. It does not need to be perfect. You do not need to go through the internet and the YouTube channels and find the perfect build. If that's the sort of stuff you enjoy, that's fine, but it's not necessary to enjoy the game. Characters that are not optimized can still do plenty of things and be useful in the game. It's fine. Next, select your adventuring gear. Please make sure to select adventuring gear. It's easy for any player to do. Like any player character can go and get adventuring gear. It's usually not restricted, okay? So please do it. Make sure you're prepared for solving problems, because not everything on your character sheet that's to do with your class or species or race or your background or whatever the heck you've got is going to help you solve all your problems. Sometimes you will need gear and equipment to help you. You might need some props. You might need some tools. So make sure you have them there. Things like rope, grappling hooks, pitons, all that sort of stuff. That's for helps. Climbing is a big factor in many role-playing games, but not always. But that's not the only thing. There's plenty of other things out there as well. You might even need rations so you don't starve. Note down the page number on your role-playing for your role-playing game book. Okay, any feature that you have, you need to note down the page number beside that feature. So in the role-playing game book, you're going to be noting down what page is my power on. There's a power description somewhere. I need to note that down the page number. Note down the spell description page number as well. Spell descriptions can be quite long and complicated and hard to remember, so noting them down is useful. Anything to do with your race and species, note down the page number. Note down your character type or class features. Anything to do with your class feature or your character type, note it down, the page number. And note down your background feature or features or benefits as a page number. Now, why do you note down the page number of all these things? You do so that, one, you have a quick reference so you don't get stuck and confused and have to flip through books forever. You can find stuff and know how to respond quickly. But also, when your game master or dungeon master is not familiar with the gazillion different options that exist in a role-playing game, they don't have to memorize all this stuff, because you can say, well, I can actually tell you which page it's on, and then they can look it up for themselves if they're unsure how it's supposed to work and they have questions around it. It is courtesy to simply do something like that. So page referencing is really, really helpful. And if you can do it, it's a good thing. Now, I'm hoping that this was useful to you, and if it was, fantastic. I want to thank my patrons who support me on Patreon to allow me to do this program every single week. We build characters every single week on this channel. Also, I want to thank you for watching, and hopefully it was useful. And hey, till next time, keep rolling those 20s. Okay. Let me just have a drink of water, get myself a little bit, settle myself, and we'll go into chat, and then we'll get started and we'll build this character, okay? Have people got their dice ready? Now there are a lot of shenanigans on character building. For those of you who are not familiar with how crazy and silly we get, I can assure you things get absolutely bat crazy. What I have decided though, after last week and looking at how I've been doing character building, I'm going to be going a lot faster. I'm also probably not going to be doing things quite the way I did them before. There's a reason for that, and the reason is very simple. It drags. So in the past, I would have asked you to assign every single ability score. We're not going to do that today. Okay? We're not going to have you, I'm not going to ask one question after the other, getting you to assign all of the ability scores that we roll up. So we're not going to do that today. But you do need to get your dice ready, because we're going to go into the wizard and character creation for it in a second. Let me just pull up, I've got my phone going. This doesn't mean that I am eliminating all of your choice and your input into the character building process. That's not true. I'm simply taking away the aspect that was causing everything to get bogged down, because I don't want it to get bogged down. I want it to be fast and furious and fun. Fast, furious, and fun. That's what we're after. Okay, so I'm just going to check to make sure have I got this. Is my head too big? No, it looks all right. It's about the same as it was before, so everything must be set up the way it's supposed to be. Okay, this is Shadowdark. This is the character sheet we're going to be using. You can see this character sheet is very simple, which I really like. I like the fact that the character sheet is so simple. These are the rules. Shadowdark role-playing game. This is the player quick start guide. It's not the full rule system, okay? So yeah, if you're wondering if it was, it's not. On page 12 of this there should be, no, 12? 13. Page 13, first level character. We're going to make a first level character, and the first thing we need to do is background. We're going to do a background. Page 14, page references are already great. So I'm going to get you to roll a 20-sided dice. Let me punch it in first, people. Roll a 20-sided dice for a background. And to ensure that I don't mess up, I'm going to make sure I put the entries in. So who do we got here? We've got, in my chat, we've got Dungeons and Chronics. Hello, Dungeons and Chronics. Hello, Prepare, Cook and Survive. How's it going, Norok? Norok is a patron, by the way. We have anybody else? Justin. Hello, Justin. How are you doing? What's up, Fred? Glad I was able to catch a video. I rarely do any more with my new schedule. Totally understand, Justin. You make what you can. You get into what you can. It's all good. Yes, let's hope the wizard doesn't come out crazy weird. I'm hoping that it doesn't. Okay, so we got some numbers. Norok has rolled a number. What is this? I've recently become a fan of the Dungeon Dude's standard array of ability scores. 17, 15, what? 13, 12, 10, 8. Oh, they've pumped it up, have they? I'm not surprised. They've got a 17 in there. I don't like it at first, but have become more of a fan after using it a few times. Dear. The Dungeon Dudes are power gamers. So, yes, I really, I'm not really that surprised by that. Anyway, you guys keep typing that in. I'm going to type in the various things that I need to type in. So we are a wizard. We are going to be level 1, and we are currently trying to get you to get a background sorted out. What else did I need to put in here? I think that was most of it for now. We've got a 13, we've got a 6, and we've got a 9. Okay, all right. What's this? Agreed. I couldn't be here for the last couple because of life. It's totally understandable. Justin, since you have not been here that often, and I know you're not here that often, we're going to take your 17. We're going to take 17. Let's have a look at what number 17 is on that table. Number 17 is a minstrel. You've travelled far with your charm and talent. Let us be a minstrel for today. Those of you who punched in a number, please don't feel like I'm taking it away from you at all. It's not at all the case. Minstrel. Now... So I've got minstrel, and that's all I need to write in for minstrel. You'll notice that it's all flavour. There's no mechanics tied to it. It's just a discussion between the player and the game master as to how it will work in the game. So I really like the fact that they've done something like this. Minstrel, it needs to be spelt correctly, though. That would be helpful. All right, now, going back to character creation. Next thing, stats. So page 15 is stats. We're going to roll 3 6-sided dice, and we need to do that 6 times. So, let me get in here. Hashtag, come on. Let me do the number. Let me put it in first. Roll. Come on, roll. 3 6-sided dice. Okay. All right. Start rolling those 3 6-sided dice. Okay, and that'll get us moving into the next step. Give me all the numbers. Give me all 3 numbers so I can add them together. That way people can see what we're up to. Okay. All right, let's just do this. 1, 2. So I have to assign this later. 3, 4, 5, 6, and cross that. 1, 4, 1. Okay, I'm gonna let you guys keep punching in all that stuff while I do some other stuff, which is, I believe, filling in some of the wizard stuff, because we haven't made a choice yet, but that doesn't matter because we can get the wizard information in while you're doing that. Character names, no. Languages, titles, too far. Wizard class. Okay, let me fill in. So we have weapons are dagger staff. Dagger, and staff. So you don't have a lot of weapons available for a character like this. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4 sets of numbers. No, 3 sets of numbers. We'll worry about assigning in a different. We're going to do assigning a different way today. So I've got 3 more sets of numbers that I need. If nobody punches some numbers in, can Noroak, Prepare, Cook and Survive, and Dungeons and Chronics, can you please roll another set of 3 6-sided dice if nobody else does? Okay. I always take new people's numbers first too. Okay. All right. Let's do this. Armor. None. Armor none. That's that one. Okay, good. I can see that people are working fast and hard. We've got Justin's got some numbers in there. Good, good, good. Okay, next thing. So our wizard has got that. Our hit points are going to be probably very low, but then this seems to be the case with the system. So at first level, it's going to be 1 4-sided dice, 1 d4 plus our constitution. At level 1, you don't get your constitution modifier after level 1. I have 5 sets of numbers. I need 1 more set, and there we are. All right, so let's go and add up some numbers and get that sorted first. Right. Okay. So Noroak, you got a 1, a 4, and 1, which means we get a very low 6. It's not a great number, but that's all right. It's not the end of the world. Pair, Cook and Survive, you got a 6, a 2, and a 1. That gives us a 9. And Dungeons and Chronics, you got a 1, a 2, and a 5. Comes out at an 8. Some low numbers. Cool. And what do you got here? Sure, I'm looking at the customized classes, and the Apothecary is super OP, and definitely we're not what. All right, we've got a good number here. We've got a 6, and a 4 from Noroak. Comes out at a 14. 14 means that the character is not an issue. It should be able to function. And Justin, you've got here 2, 4, and 3, which comes out at 6, 9. Got a 9. And Prepare, Cook and Survive, you've got a 2, a 4, and a 5, which means we get a nice average number of about 11. So we're kind of in the middle. So we've got all our numbers. Okay, cool. So if I didn't... Ethan. Oh, hang on. Who's Ethan here? Ethan's a new person. Have I seen Ethan before? Hello, Ethan. I think I have seen you here before, but let's see if we can grab Ethan's number as well. So we've got... Did I get Prepare, Cook and Survive's number? I did. 6, 1. Okay, so maybe we'll take Ethan's number over the last set of Prepare, Cook and Survive's numbers. That'll do. That's nice and quick for me. I've got Prepare, Cook and Survive's first set of numbers. So this will be 3, 5, and 4, coming out at a mighty 12. So it's 1 number higher. Okay, so I'm going to give you, to make this faster, more swifter, and just a bit more efficient, I'm going to give you the numbers, and I'm going to tell you where you want to put. I'm going to ask you where you want to put them, and I'm going to continue to finish off putting in the wizard details into the character sheet. Okay, this is my attempt to try to do things faster. Okay, Drakenheim setting. Oh, you guys are talking about Drakenheim. Here we go. All right, hashtag ability. Darn it, ability scores are in sequence. If I can, we have a 14, a 12, 2 9s, an 8 and a 6, and a 6. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Have I got it right? Yes, I have. Okay, punching this in. These are the numbers that we have. Hello, Ethan, by the way. And, oh, we got somebody else here. Code Frost. Code, is it Cod Frost Delicacia? If COD's already gone, COD Frost, not a problem. If you have to go, you have to go. Let's, okay, so hashtag, where do you want all the ability scores to go? Just set up what you kind of would prefer. Don't give me something stupid. I'm not going to put the 14 in strength. We're doing a wizard, okay? Your wizard wouldn't last 5 seconds. So the wizard is going to have the 14. It's just not, you don't get that many big numbers. So the 14 will have to go in there, okay? All right. Let me go back to the character stuff while you guys decide. You punch in what you would like to do with it. But I'm not putting the big one in the strength. It's not happening. Okay. Okay, so we did armor, languages. You know 2 additional common languages and 2 rare languages. Okay. So we need some languages as well to sort out. Languages. There we go. We get 2 common and 2 rare. And so I will put in an entry for languages. Next. And what I will do is I'll do 2 common, 2 common, 2 rare. Question mark incomplete section. I need to make sure I get back and do that. Learning spells. You can permanently learn a wizard spell from a spell scroll by studying it for a day and succeeding on a DC 15 intelligence check. Okay, so learning spells. Whether you succeed or fail, you expend the spell scroll. Spells you learn in this way don't count towards your known spells. So learning spells. Let's put down learning spells as one of our features. Learning spells. And our page for this is bracket. Page 24. Okay, next. Spell casting. You can cast wizard spells you know. You know 3 first tier spells of your choice from the wizard spell list, which is on page 57. I like all the page number referencing. It's great. Each time you gain a level, you choose new wizard spells to learn according to the wizard spells known table. So if you know the spell, it's prepared. There is no preparing spells. There's no Vancian magic in Shadowdark. For casting wizard spells, see spell casting on page 52. So we have 3 spells, which we will select very shortly. Spells. You need 3. And I see people are putting in their decisions and choices. I will pay attention, don't you worry. Don't mean I'll take everybody's advice, but I'll do something with it, don't you worry. It's all good. Spell casting, okay. Spell casting. 3 spells. At level 1, that is. Okay, all right. Now, the spell casting table is here. It's really simple. We have a talents table as well, which we'll get to very shortly. But you can see that the progression is only from level 1 to 10 in terms of character level, and only to level 5 spells. We don't go up to level 9 spells in this game. Well, certainly not in the quick start anyway. All right, let's start assigning some attributes. We need to do this. Yes, our intelligence needs to be high for a wizard. That's what their main spell casting ability is. So, yes, Ethan, a 14, I'm taking that. I was going to do that anyway, but 14 I agree. So that is intelligence. Okay, after that, it really doesn't matter as far as I'm concerned. Let's have a look at what we got next. Strength, 12. Norwick's gone with, he went strength to be the next highest one. Somebody said wisdom. Con can be 9. Strength, a lot of people are saying strength 12. 14, wisdom. Okay, we'll do that. I mean, the benefit of being strong as a wizard is not necessarily going to be huge. A minus on our con was probably going to be problematic, but amusing. Strength. Okay, strength is the 12. Somebody had said something. I don't think we need it. The con needs to be at least one of the 9s. We can't be going too low. So a 9. And what was another number that kept popping up that people were talking about? Con, strength, wisdom. Somebody said wisdom. Is it wisdom? Yes, wisdom. Somebody said wants wisdom to be 6. And somebody wants wisdom to be 12. Charisma 8. Fine. We'll make wisdom 6. Wisdom. This is a much harder character to run and play, I would imagine, people. If you're wondering, it's going to... And our dex is a 9, I guess. I think that's roughly from what I... perusing very quickly. If somebody wanted to drop dex as the lowest number. Hello, Ancient Dragon. How's it going? Charisma 6. Oh, charisma could have been 6, but now apparently it's the wisdom. We'll make it 8. It's going to be. I think our wisdom and our charisma are going to be pretty bad. It's one of those things, eh? And this is the 998. All right. Okay. So there's our numbers: 6, 8, 9, 9, 14, 12. Okay. So now I need to enter in the modifier for each one of these. Now the modifier, fortunately, is not that hard to figure out. If I can find page 15, is that the right one? No, it's wrong. 15. Here we go. So our stats for our numbers are just like what we used to when we were playing Dungeons and Dragons. So it's not too difficult to figure out. So let me put that in. Where are we? Okay, so while I'm filling in the numbers, I'm going to ask you another question. That is hashtag pick 2 common languages and 2 rare languages. So that is your next choice. Since our wizard gets so many different languages, you can choose some languages. I will go to the language section now. Where is it? Languages, there. So, common languages for you, so you know what they are common, dwarvish, elfish, giant, goblin, Miran, so merfolk, Miran, orcish, reptilian, sylvan, and Thanane. I think it's Thanane. So rare languages are celestial, diabolic, yes, draconic, and primordial. So pick 2 rare languages and 2 common languages to know while I do the number crunching stuff. Okay? Sorry, I don't need that. Okay, this is a +1. This will be that's a -1 right now. Let's try a +1, shall we? +1 for that. That is a -1 for dex, -1 for con. This is a +2. This is wisdom. This is, I'm pretty sure that is a -1 as well. And is that a 6 and -3? I think it is. -3, I think it's pretty much a -3, but we'll just check. Stats. 6 is minus, oh, no, it's -2. -2. 8's a minus, okay. 8, yes, -2. Okay, and this is a -1. -1, okay, got it. All right, so I see some choices being made, which is great. I'm glad to see it. Have we got any new? Hello, Byron Lee, how are you? How is it going? Okay, so that is most of what I wanted to get in there, pretty sure. So that means we need to fill in our languages, because you guys have been throwing languages at me, right? Making sure to fill in all those little gaps so we can make that happen. Guess we've got ourselves an absent-minded professor sort of character. I think, Ethan, that's exactly what we do have, yeah. Wizards rely on intelligence anyway rather than wisdom or charisma. Well, this one doesn't have a choice. There's no choice in this matter right now. Okay. Diabolic. Okay, diabolic. Yes, we can add that in. Diabolic. Diabolic. And somebody said draconic. Draconic, sure. Let's do draconic. Draconic. So those are the rare languages, if I remember right. And then we had somebody put down, is it Sylvan? I think somebody had Sylvan down. Where are we? Yeah, diabolic, draconic, and so Sylvan, and we'll chuck common in there as well. Okay, we might as well common and Sylvan. Sylvan. Okay, so we have 4 languages from our wizard class established. That wasn't too hard. Good news, good news. How are we doing, people? Gibberish. Doing good as ever? Lovely. Okay, so let's go back to our character building process. What is our next step? Since I've put in the numbers, we should be moving on to another step along this. Okay, so we've done our stats. Choice of ancestry. So that's on page 16. So a choice of ancestry is basically your species or race. Hashtag select an ancestry. Okay, so I will read out the ancestries to you. There is dwarvish, goblin, elf, halfling, and half-orc and human. So to give you an idea of what they do, a dwarf gets common and dwarfish. Dwarvish is a language. Goblin gets the dwarf actually gets not just common and dwarf as a language, but it also starts off with +2 hit points, and you roll your hit points when you gain them with advantage. So we'd be rolling with advantage when we get those hit points, which is kind of good. And you're always rolling for your hit points anyway, as far as I understand, even at level 1. Next, goblin. You know common or goblin as languages. You have keen senses. You can't be surprised. That's the goblin. The elf, you know common, elvish, and sylvan as a language. Farsight, you get a +1 bonus to attack rolls with ranged weapons and a +1 bonus to spellcasting checks. That's the elf. The halfling gets common as a language. That's it. You get stealth. Once per day you can become invisible for 3 rounds. That's it. The half-orc, you get common and orc as your languages. Mighty, you have a +1 bonus to attack and damage rolls with melee weapons. And human is you get common as a language and 1 additional language. Okay. It needs to be a common language that you're selecting though. And ambitious, you gain 1 additional talent roll at 1st level. So those are all of these choices out there. Someone has put down goblin. I'm going to give you people time to make some decisions around that while what was I supposed to be doing next? Now just because we already have common here, I can take out common and we can put something else in. And most of your ancestries are going to have that anyway. So I think somebody had said Sylvan and Elvish. Gibberish. You went gibberish. Somebody wanted gibberish. Hand signals. Lovely. Halfling, human. All right. So I'm going to just put in here Elven. Elvish. Since we're probably going to get common anyway. Elvish. Come on. It's an E, Fred. Elvish. Get it together. We've got 3 choices so far, which is nice. I just need a drink of water. Okay, next. I wanted to determine, so our strength is 12. Because our strength is 12, that means we can, with gear and equipment that we can carry 10 pieces of gear, have 10 gear slots, or whatever our strength score is. Our strength score is a 12, which is greater than 10, so we get to pick whichever one is the biggest number. So we're going to go with that. I think that's probably the best way to go. So I'm going to fill in some spots here. We're not going to be using those slots because we don't have access to them. Unless, of course, somebody decides that we're going to be a half-orc, and then it'll be a different story. But so far, nobody said half-orc. I'm going to roll a 6-sided dice to determine whether we go to goblin, halfling, or human. Ancient Dragon. Hello, Ancient Dragon. Oh, Ancient Dragon's here. Hello, Ancient Dragon. How are you? So, 1 to 2 is a goblin. 3 to 4 is going to be the halfling, and the human will be 5 to 6. I think that's a reasonable decision around. Let's do this. I rolled a 2. We're going to be a goblin. I guess we're being a goblin today. Goblin. Goblin. Interesting. Right, going back. Goblin gets common and goblin, so we'll add those languages in. Common, goblin, elfish, sylvan, diabolic, and draconic. So we've got quite a few languages. We've got 6 languages, which is pretty awesome. We're going to be selecting spells soon enough, but not just yet. This here, we are 0 level. We've got no experience points. We need 10 experience points to go up to level 2. We're not going to do that just yet. Okay, let me just type in the rest of our various features for the goblin. Keen senses. I wonder if I can copy and paste this. I think I did it last time, didn't I? We can probably copy and paste it in here. So I will. There we go. Keen senses. And there. Why is that like that? Okay. Put a page number in. Page number, what is it? It is page 16. Page 16. Okay. All right, so that's for that. Sweet. That's all right. Cool. Done. What's the next step on our character building process? Gobbo for the win. Yep, today it's Gobbo for the win. Okay. Now I need to go back to... This is it. So we've done our ancestry. I've written down our feature, our languages, so I've got all that information in there, which is good. Classes. We needed to choose our class. We've already selected our class. When you're playing Shadowdark, the idea is when you're rolling your ability scores, you roll down the line. So your numbers would determine what you can play. But if you have a dungeon master or a game master who will allow you to reassign and not roll in sequence, then that makes it a bit easier. You get a bit more customization. I think probably most people are going to be doing it that way, unless you're going for a much more hardcore approach. Okay, right. Now we're going to roll our class talent. We have all classes have a talent at first level, and progressing from there, they get a new talent later on as well. But that's not what we're doing right now. The talent roll is a 12-sided dice, not 12-sided dice, 2 6-sided dice. So we're doing the talent roll now for a wizard. Hashtag roll 2 6-sided dice. Don't roll it yet. Dice for wizard talent. All right. So I want you to roll that up, and you can see what their options will wind up being because it's right in front of you. I don't know when the live stream starts. So we started about 50 minutes ago. We've been going for a little while. Hi Brian, how are you doing? I have special dice that have all the character races and classes as well as all the alignments. Oh, cool. I should use them for making a character one of these days. I reckon that would be quite a lot of fun. Okay, so we've got some numbers coming through. And I will probably randomly select who it's going, which one it's going to be in a second when I add them up. Add those two numbers together and we get something. Ancient Dragon got 4 and a 2. Prepare, Cook and Survive got a 6 and a 3. Dungeons and Chronicles got a 1 and a 2. Norok got a 4 and a 3. Okay. So, since the 4 of you seem to be the most engaged in terms of rolling dice for me, and we have a couple of choices left. We do have a couple of choices left. I am going to go and just... Oh, Byron Lee is in here now. Ah, we've got a decision made by Byron Lee. Okay, all right. So, new to the stream, just come in. We're taking Byron's number. I will select yours. So 3 and a 2 comes to 5. So between 3 and 7 is a +2 to intelligence stat or +1 to wizard spellcasting checks. There's no point taking the +1 to wizard spellcasting checks unless you have maxed out your intelligence. Intelligence can only go, so your ability scores can only go as high as 18. There's no point going any higher than that, because if you were to do so, there would be no additional benefit in doing so. So we're going to go with increasing our intelligence. +2 to intelligence. So we go back to here. Wizard. Talent. +2. Intelligence. Oops. Intelligence. Good Lord. I can't spell it. Intelligence. It's behind in tel gents. Okay, +2. We're going to put it in there because that's the one we got. All right, so where's our there it is. So that means our numbers will change a little bit. That's why we didn't start calculating things. That means the modifier goes up to a 3 +3. That's handy, quite good, not too bad at all. Ancient Dragon, what kind of dragon are you? A very old silver dragon. Haha. All right. Okay. So if you wind up with your intelligence modifier getting to 18, then when you get this, if you roll this one, then going and getting a +1 to your wisdom, to your wizard spellcasting check would make sense. But don't do that otherwise. I would not recommend it. Okay, back to character creation, which is here. We have done our class, we've done our talent roll. We need to do our hit points. And guess what? You get to roll a 4-sided dice for that. This is going to be interesting. Hashtag. Come on, baby. Come on up. Hashtag. Roll a 4-sided dice for hit points. Okay, I'm going to let you guys roll away. Get those numbers in. And then we've got 3 more choices after that, which is we're going to choose an alignment first. You need to know what your alignment is before the talent, before the title for your character. I think this is one of those times where the order of selecting things is a little bit messed up. Picking your title is, your title is really just read off a table. So selecting your alignment probably should be the first thing, and then you do the title after, and then of course we'll do gear. Okay, we've got people rolling. I took Byron's number last time, and I'm going to take somebody else's number this time. Whoever's rolling here, we're going to pick up somebody else, and who's it going to be? We'll start Ancient Dragon. We'll take your number 4. So you rolled a 4. We'll put in a 4 plus our modifier for con, means we get a 3. 3 hit points. For a wizard at level 1 in this game is a big deal. It's a big deal. I'm kind of amazed. So that's good. We've got that choice done. And next, hit points are done. We need to have an alignment. Here we go. Remember, there are no combinations. Hashtag pick and alignment. Okay, now the alignments are on page 28. And the problem with alignments is it's not the way you think it is. There's only chaotic, lawful, and neutral. That's it. There is no combination of them, okay? Choose one of the following 3 alignments. That's all you do. Do you want chaotic? Chaotic characters align themselves with destruction, ambition, and wickedness. Chaotic characters adopt a survival of the fittest mentality. Lawful. Lawful characters align themselves with fairness, order, and virtue. Lawful characters operate from a good of the whole mentality. So good of the whole, good of the many. Neutral characters find balance between law and chaos. They align with the cycle of growth and decline, adopting a nature must take its course mentality. So those are the 3. Hi, Shiner. How's it going, Shiner81? How are you? I prefer everything from neutral good to chaotic neutral. Well, it doesn't matter. So in this game assumes that you're either chaotic, lawful, or neutral. The word evil doesn't come into play. Okay? So don't worry about that sort of stuff. You only need to worry about these others. Okay, what do we got here? We have chaotic, we've got neutral, and we've got chaotic. So Norok and Dungeons and Chronics, I'm going to take your chaotic. We're selecting chaotic. This is the one we'll put in. Alignment, chaotic. Chaotic. Okay. Now that we've got an alignment, we can do our title. Because as I was saying before, it's kind of messed up the way that they've worked it out. So once we've done it, you'll notice that it goes title and alignment. So it's not really going to work that way. So 26 for our title. These titles are already predetermined. So depending on your level determines what your title is, and then depending on your alignment, you work out exactly what you are. So this is for the fighter and priest. We want the wizard. That's the thief and the wizard. At level 1, chaotic, we are an adept. That's our title. So I'll just copy and paste it in. Adept, where's the titles? Here. Paste, adept. Done. Okay, back to our character stuff. I'm going to try to use everybody's feedback today, so I'm going to jump back and forth a bit. All right, we're going to get some dice rolling going again, and we're going to get some money sorted out. Okay. Hashtag. You need to roll 2 6-sided dice for gold. Okay. All right. So what you're seeing before you is our gold at the bottom. That gives you the section where we need to go to, which is page 32, which is really good. 2 6-sided dice. Multiply that by 5 gives us how many gold pieces we have to spend, which is really useful. We're going to do that pretty soon because I'm sure people are going to punch some numbers in, and I'll take some numbers. I'm looking for somebody I haven't used before, and I believe, who have I not taken before? It's going to be somebody. I'm sure it's going to be somebody. Shiner81. Taking your numbers, Shiner81. We've got here a 3 and a 2. We'll take 3 and a 2. Thank you for everybody punching all those numbers in. It's really good. Okay, 3 and a 2 comes to a 5. Multiplied by 5 equals 25. So we've got 25 gold pieces to spend. It's not a lot, but we are a wizard, so we don't really need to worry about having a lot of money. 25. Somebody's going to say top of the hour, but we're not stopping. Okay? We're continuing on. I am going to get you to roll up a deity as well. We did backgrounds where deities and a character name. I'm going to do because we've got character names here as well, apparently. Clever lady, this lady. Gets it all in there. Is that a name? No, basic names. Where's names? Names. Character names. Here we go. So we've got Goblin. I'm going to get you to roll a 20-sided dice in a second. Hashtag roll a 20-sided dice for a name. If you can come up with a name without rolling the dice, that's fine too. I might pick that depending on how entertaining it is. Okay, so this table here is on page 36, and she's decided that you might get stuck in terms of naming it, so she's provided you with a table to do all that for you, which is quite nice. And we'll just go down the goblin, whoever rolls something suitable. I took Shiner's 18 before. I'm probably not going to take his this time. I'll pick somebody else's. I'll let you guys pump all that in. We also have some deities we need to select. And I just need to find deities. Where are they? Deities. So I can read out the deities to you. You do not have to select a deity for your character. A priest is required to have a god. Okay, you must choose a god for a priest, but for a wizard, you are not required to do so. Sir Shiner. Really? You want to call him Sir Shiner? Okay, so lawful would be Saint Taragnus. Is it Taragnus? A legendary knight who is the patron of most lawful humans. She is ascended to godhood long ago and is the embodiment of righteousness and justice. Is that Giddy? I think it is. Neutral, the god of feasts, mirth, and the wilderness, or the wilds. Giddy is usually peaceful, but primal storms rage when her anger rises. Many elves and halflings worship her. Next we have Madeira, the convent. That's lawful. And that is, Madeira was the first manifestation of law. She carries every law of reality, a dictate called the convent, written in her skin in precise symbols. Ord, which is neutral. Ord would be, don't select a god or deity yet, people. Ord is the unbending, the wise, the secret keeper. He is the god of magic, knowledge, secrets, and equilibrium. It probably would make sense to pick one of the chaotic gods. I'm about to go over them now. Memon. Memon is the first manifestation of chaos. He is Madeira's twin. Is it a red-maned lion? Lion person, I guess, being whose ultimate ambition is to rend the cosmic laws of the convent from her sister's skin. Oh, good lord, he's got a bit of an issue. Is that Shun, the Vile? Shun whispers ancient secrets to sorcerers and witches who call her name in the dark hours. She schemes to displace Ord so she can control the vast flow of magic herself. There's also the lost. There are two of the 9 are lost, so you can be one of the they might worship one of the lost, which basically means you can make up your own god name. That section there basically means you can make up your own god name. Yeah. Ramlet, also chaos. Ramlet is the pillager, the barbaric, the horde. Many orcs worship him and live by the blood rite. A prophecy that says only the strongest will survive a coming doom. Of course. All right. Let's see if I can't grab your selection here for the name. No, names. Where are they? No, names. There we go. Names. So who rolled? What do we got here? Plenty of names coming up. So we've got 18, Shiner, Norok got a 15, Dungeons & Chronics got a 19, Ancient Dragon got a 2. So what is 19 and it's Goblin? 19 would be Squib. Sir Squib. Sir Squib Sundur. I combined them all. Sir Sundur. Up. And we need our name, don't we? So it's the 19 that was rolled. Ah dear. And it's an alliteration too. It's all gonna come out rather entertaining. Let's have a look. Sir Squibsunder. How was that? How do you feel about that? Okay. All right. So now I'm going to get you to pick a god. Hashtag. Pick a god. Or pick a deity. Should I say? Deity. Or name a god. Fine with me. We can roll it. We can take a name. What are you guys writing in here anyway? I can just imagine what you've got cooking. What's cooking, people? What's cooking? I can't roll running around. No, don't. If you can't roll, you can't roll, you know? Shun would be both be good deities choices. Okay, so we've got Rumlet, Shun, Rumlet speaks to me. Say that 5 times. Luke Lee. Oh no, I'm not pronouncing that name. Luke Lee Gunardi. Oh. All right. Okay. So yes, it's now Sir Squibsunder. That's if you can take the piss, I can take the piss. It's fair dinkums on that one. I think we've figured out the deity is going to be this one. There's 2 people who've voted for it. Unless I get a different... All right, so this looks like it is time for us to do some calculations, work out some stuff, get some gear. I would normally take a break, but we're not going to stop. I am just going to get you to do stuff very, very fast. So, going back to gear. We need to select some gear. We're going to take a crawler's kit because a crawler's kit is usually a good idea. We can't wear armor, so there's no point going after armor. We can only ever have a staff, which is 5 silver pieces, or a dagger, which is 1 gold piece. So that means you need to start thinking about what sort of gear do you want to buy. Okay, so we have arrows, we have backpack, we have caltrops, we have crossbow bolts, which we'll probably not use because we can't use them. There's crowbar, there's a flask or bottle, there's flint and steel, there are gems, there's grappling hook, iron spikes, which I'll probably get part of the crawler's kit since you're starting out. There's a lantern, there's a mirror, there's an oil flask, there's a pole if you want a pole, that's your 10-foot pole. More rations, rope, torches. So that's your gear equipment list, okay? So you just need to decide on what gear you want. Hashtag, pick some gear. That's right, hell yeah. So pick some gear. All right. Does he need a component pouch? No, you don't need a component pouch in this game. You don't need a component pouch. There is no component pouch in the game, so you don't have to worry about that sort of thing. Magic works very differently in this game compared to Dungeons and Dragons, Shiner. So there is no Vanseen magic. There is no restriction on how often you can cast a spell until you botch it up and have a bad thing happen. We'll discuss that later. Okay? That'll be when I have to explain the rules. This is character creation for today. So let's do the crawler's kit. It's only 7 gold pieces and it fills quite a few slots, but it gives us the basics that we need. So so 25 out of our 7 is gone and we get 8. So we got 18 gold pieces left. Let us put in a backpack. It's a free slot. We don't have to worry about that. Backpack is in. And our next one is a flint and steel is going to take up a slot. So we'll take flint and steel. And steel. Okay. Next. Torches. We'll take 2 torches. That's 2 slots. Torch. Torch. Done. Okay. Next. Rations. Quantity is 3, but it only takes up 1 gear slot, so rations. And there are 3 of them, times 3. It's 1 gear slot. Next, iron spikes, there are 10 of them, but only 1 gear slot is used. Iron spikes, and it's 10. Okay, put a times there. Okay, so we've got a few iron spikes. Next, grappling hook, we get 1 grappling hook and a rope. Okay, we've got a grappling hook, rope, 60 feet. Okay. I'm assuming that you guys have decided whether you want a dagger or a staff or whether you want both. We can't wear armor. If there's any other adventuring gear that you want, then this is the time to select it. We can't use a shield. We don't have access to mithril armor, so don't worry about that. Okay. Your weapons, very, very basic for a wizard, so yes. Not hard. This is the adventuring gear. Let's have a look and see what you've decided you want. It does not need a component pouch. We said that. And auto-loading crossbow. You don't get an auto-loaded crossbow because you can't use one. You don't know how to use it. You would shoot yourself in the foot. The all-powerful crowbar of Ramlet. Yes, you can have a crowbar. A crowbar is a good idea. Where's a crowbar? Is 5 silver. So we've got 17.5. And I add crowbar onto the list because we don't have a crowbar. But now we do have a crowbar. Remember, we don't want to fill up all our slots, otherwise we can't pick up any treasure. Might be a good thing to remember. Okay, next. Yeah, Crawler's Kit is a necessity. There's a reason why it's quite cheap for a Crawler's Kit too. So you want to pick it up if you can. Oil, flask, metal pipe, homemade flamethrower. Oh, God. A pouch of teeth. Okay, fine. I'll give it to you for free. Pouch of teeth. Is it your own teeth? Yeah. Is it your own teeth? Really? I'm serious. Have you pulled out your own wizard's teeth? Is that what's in there? A water pouch. Hi, Fred. How's it going? You are late, but that's all right. It happens. Brian, hello Brian, how are you? I didn't know that it was live. Well, I'm always live at the same time every single day, just about. There's 6 days of the week, apart from Friday when I'm here at 10 o'clock. Quite the turnout. Oh shit, there is. I didn't realize. I wasn't paying attention. Sorry. Do we take a dagger or a staff? Do you want a dagger or a staff, people? Somebody said oil flask. Oil flask, 1 silver. Okay, so we'll get that. So we've got still 17 gold. We've got quite a lot of gold still left over. And we get an oil flask. I'll put an oil flask. That's 1 slot. Oil flask. With your weapons, if you notice in here and you're looking at this and you're confused because it doesn't state how many slots it is, the reason it says arrows 20, 1 GP, well, it costs 1 gold piece for 20 arrows, and then you see gear slots, quantity 1 to 20. In other words, you can only have up to 20 slots occupied by arrows, if you were really inclined. But every 20 arrows takes up 1 gear slot, not 20 gear slots. It's not 1 gear slot for every single arrow. It's not that bad, okay? So if you're wondering what was going on there, that's what's going on here. And the same thing applies. Anytime you come to a location and it doesn't tell you what the gear slots are, like the weapon section, okay, which is down here, that's equipment, but if you go to the gear section and you go to weapons, and it doesn't tell you what the gear slot is, unless it states how many gear slots it is. So a bastard sword is 2 gear slots. A great axe is 2 gear slots. A great sword is 2 gear slots. If it doesn't state how many gear slots, it costs 1 gear slot. Okay, I did look that up. It took me a while to find it, but it is there. So staff and a dagger equals a spear. Dear, lovely. Okay, so we're taking a dagger and a staff. Okay, fine. It's 16. And then again, it's 15 and a 5. Okay, so we'll put them down since you obviously want both of them. I don't have a problem. It's all right. Dagger, staff. Oh, all right. So we're going to put in here dagger, staff, spell, attack. Oh, it's just spell casting. It's just spell casting, isn't it? I forgot about this. It works a little bit distinct, spell casting. So we'll do the calculations for that in a second, but I think it's time to pick some spells. Are you guys all ready to pick some spells? There's a whole lot of you here. Let's pick some spells. We get 3 spells at level 1, so let's pick some spells. Let's go to the spell section. I know you've been hanging out for this. It's a wizard, right? You've got to have a spell. So let's find spells. It's rolling DCs. That's not what I want. It's near the end. Is it here? Priest, wizard. Okay, here we go. So these are the spells you can have, and they work very similar to how you're familiar with the games that you've played before. First off, only get wizard tier 1. That one list there on the left is the only list we can draw from right now. So you can have alarm, burning hands, charm person, detect magic, feather fall, floating disc, hold portal? Hold portal? I'm kind of confused. What is hold portal? Light, mage armor. I'm putting down mage armor no matter what because we need the armor class. Magic missile, protection from evil, and sleep. So let us get some pick 3 spells. All right, people, you start picking your spells. I will start putting some stuff in here. You want a pointed hat? Fine, I'll give you a pointed hat. You want a pointed hat. Pointed hat. There we go. All right, now, spells. Spell casting 3 spells. At level 1. Okay. So, talent, if I spelt talent wrong, I don't know, I probably have. Talent, no talent, that's right, that's what it is. Talent, wizard talent. Our spells are mage armor, page, I'll put the page number in here in a second. We will also do the calculation for that, but that's one of our spells that we're going to take. And I'm going to do this. Page. Do people want me to go over the spells? I don't really want to do that if necessary. I mean, maybe the hold portal one I could explain because I don't understand it myself, but I think other than that, it's unnecessary. Oh, here we go. There's a lot of feedback coming through on the spell selection. Here we go. Let's have a look. Burning hands. Burning hands. Is read magic automatic? Well, I don't know that there is necessarily a read magic spell in here. Is there a read magic spell? So what is hold portal? Detect magic. Hold person. Hold portal. Oh, 10 rounds near. You magically hold a portal closed for the duration. A creature must make a successful strength check versus your spellcasting check to open the portal. The knock spell ends the spell. Oh, it's a very, very specific. Very, very specific. Anyway. So mage armor. In terms of whether you can just read stuff that is magical, I am unaware. Not too sure. So it lasts 10 rounds. You cast it on yourself, mage armor, and this is how it works. An invisible layer of magical force protects your vitals. Your armor class becomes 14, 18 on a critical spellcasting check for the spell's duration. So, okay. So in other words, if you roll a critical So in terms of a critical, I think what they mean by when you roll the 20-sided dice for your spell casting, because you roll a 20-sided dice for your spell casting. If you get a 20 on the dice, it means your armor class when you cast that spell is now 18 and not 14. Does that make sense? So what it requires you to do is to roll now. And if I rolled it, it would be terrible. You'd have to roll a 20. So if you roll a 20, you get an 18 for your armor class. If you don't roll a 20, you get the 14, which is still very good. I'm going to say we're a 14. So armor class 14. That eliminates the problem of having too low an armor class because our dex is so low, because I'm pretty sure our armor class is calculated as 10 plus our dexterity modifier and any armor we might have. And since we can't wear armor, we would have a 9 for our armor class. So it was 9, but with mage armor, it becomes a 14. So we'll go here in brackets 14. This is to represent the mage armor. How's that sound? Since you're not going to have mage armor on all the time. Okay. Sweet. Looking at spells here again. Burning Hands, Charm Person, Sleep. Somebody said Sleep. Sleep is underappreciated. Sleep is a very strong spell. No, yeah, there is no read magic spell as far as I can tell. So it looks to me like we are going with Sleep and Burning Hands. Correct? Somebody said Magic Missile, but how many Magic Missiles do we have? Featherfall. Burning Hands has got at least a few, three selections of that, and I'm pretty sure I saw Sleep come up quite a few times. Sleep and Burning Hands. There we go. We'll get more spells as we level up. Okay. So Burning Hands. It doesn't want to do it. Why is that? It doesn't like it. Sleep. Oh, you annoying sort of a thing. Space. Oh, you've got to be kidding me, right? Have I been disconnected from my keyboard? It won't do it. Ah. Oh no. Okay. Something wrong with my my keyboard's space bar for some reason. I don't understand why. Okay. Let's put this in here. Did I disconnect something? I don't know. Who knows? Who knows? All right, that's got our spell selection sorted out. In terms of how they work, let's do some of the numbers. Okay, if we've got our hit points sorted out, we've got our AC figured out. We need to get our attack modifiers sorted out for. Oh, there we go. It's working again. All right, okay. So let's do page numbers for Mage Armor, Burning Hands, and Sleep, so we know where they are and how they work. Okay, so Mage Armor is AC 14 or AC 18 if critical. Okay, and armor class is on page. Which page is it? 63. Mage armor 63. All right, 63. Got it. Burning Hands. Let's have a look at Burning Hands and Sleep. Burning Hands is. Where are you? Burning Hands. Here we go. Instant, close, tier 1 spell. Okay, you spread your fingers with your thumbs touching, unleashing a circle of flame that fills a close area around you where you stand. Creatures within the area of the effect take 1 6-sided dice of damage. Unattended flammable objects ignite. So it's a 1d6 damage. Okay. Spell. 1d6 fire damage. And it is on which page? Burning Hands is on 59. 59. And there we go. Let's have a look at sleep and how sleep works. Sleep. And okay. Tier 1 wizard, instant, you need to be near, and this is how it works. The spell fills a near-sized cube extending from you. Choose a number of living creatures in the area up to your level. Those creatures fall into a deep sleep if they have LV, level 2 or less. So if they're level 2 or less, they fall asleep. Injury or vigorous shaking wakes them. So if you injure them or you wake them by shaking them, they wake up. So that's so near cube size, and it's level 2. Okay. So near cube size, level 2 or less, sleep. And we'll put our page number in so it's easy to find later on. What's our page number? Page number is 64. So we need to go back to it. We can. 64. Right. Okay. Sweet. That wasn't too bad. Let's do the numbers on our spell casting, our dagger, and our staff. Have I missed anybody? Yep. Okay. Let's do this. Let's make this happen. Let's get our where was I? Yep. So it's playing the game, isn't it? Gear, names, gameplay. Right. So naturals, 20-sided dice rolls. That's all fine. That's making checks. Time. No. Where's the attack? That's resting. Surprise, stealth. Okay, here we go. So melee attacks. It's for a melee weapon. It is a 20-sided dice plus your strength modifier plus your talent bonus. We don't have a talent bonus for this, so we're just adding our strength modifier to a 20-sided dice roll for our melee. And I believe a dagger is finesse, so I think we get to use either our dex or our strength in this case. So dagger, it's a +1. Not a great number, but that's how it works. Okay, so we get a +1. And then if we go over and ranged attacks, which we don't have a ranged attack, would be our dexterity modifier plus our talent bonus, which we don't have, and a 20-sided dice roll. So I'm going to check in a little bit to see if the dagger is finesse, but I don't think it. I think it is a finesse weapon. I'm pretty sure that's one of the few finesse weapons that do exist, where you get to use dex or strength, which means we don't need to worry too much about the modifier. Okay, but the staff is definitely a melee weapon. I'm sure of it. So it does that. We'll put in our damage in a second. And a bracket there. Okay, next, let's do spell casting. Casting a spell takes 1 action. See spell casting page 52. Okay, so damage. Damage. When you hit a target with an attack or a spell, you roll your weapon damage dice or your spell damage dice plus your talent bonus. Well, we don't have a talent bonus for anything, spell casting or otherwise, so we won't be applying any of that, but we will be needing to have damage dice for everything. Okay, that's good to know. So spell casting, very simple. For a wizard, you cast a spell. a wizard spell, you know. So if you have it, you can cast it. You don't have to prepare it, none of that nonsense. You make a spell casting check by rolling a 20-sided dice plus your intelligence modifier. That's it, nothing else. The DC to successfully cast a spell is right here. It is 10 plus the spell's level or tier. So something like Mage Armor or Sleep or Burning Hands requires a DC 11 to be successful. So nice and simple. The calculation for that is just our intelligence modifier, which is a +3. So +3, that's it. That's all we need to have there. We need damage for our dagger and our staff, and we're done. Is that it? No, that's level advancement. Okay, weapons. Okay, so dagger is a finesse weapon, and it can be thrown, so you can use dex or strength. So it doesn't really matter. We're going to be using strength. And the staff is a two-handed weapon, so you need to use two hands rather than one hand. And the damage output for a staff is a 4-sided dice, and the dagger is a 4-sided dice as well. So pretty easy. It's 1d4. That's it. Nothing else. No modifiers. 1d4. Done. That's the character sheet done. All right, we built it. Completely done. Sorted. Easy peasies. Daggers can be there so that you have a ranged weapon. Yeah, and that's really the only reason to take it, right? Gibberish, like the chain signs of Thrives can. A 30-foot radius around the wizard AoE is life-saving for a wizard. So distance isn't measured that way. You have close, near, and far. There's 3 different ranges. Close, near, and far. That's it. Nothing else. Okay? Close is obviously not ranged weapons. That's for getting up and stabbing and so forth and slashing somebody or bashing them in the head. Okay, now you can see how easy this character is to put together. And this is a wizard with her system. So Kelsey's system with a wizard is bangers simple as. Now, how does it play? Well, considering that the advancement process is so simple and it's quite varied in what you would get, it's actually pretty good. But I'm going to take a break and I'm going to come back and we're going to go into leveling up. Hashtag leveling up after break. That means you'll need to make some choices. You'll need to make some choices. But it's all right. Because there's somebody here. 5 minutes or less. I'll be back. Alright, I'm coming back in, people. We're going to level up. Get your dice ready because you will have to roll some dice for this. Okay, all right. Am I comfortable? Hopefully. Yes, we are. And here we go. I am back. Yes, so people are already rolling dice for the level up. Well done. So D4 is required as a dice roll. I'm going to show you the leveling up chart and table for you right now. It's very, very simple. Right here, page 37. This is leveling up for all the classes is exactly the same. There's nothing different to it. They're all identical. You need 10 experience points to go from level 1 to level 2. And you get 1 talent at level 1. We don't get a talent at level 2 though. We just get hit points. So you'll see experience points awarded based on various things. Leveling up, we've got that. Talent roll, increase hit points. There's nothing else to leveling up. There's no other mechanical aspect to it. So we're going to level up from level 1, then to level 2, and then to level 3. So you can see how it works, because you're going to have to do a talent roll as well. So I'm going to go here, hashtag, let's get you rolling some hit points. Hashtag, roll a four-sided dice. Four-sided would be nice. Four-sided dice for hit points at level 2. Okay, away you go. Roll that four-sided dice, people. Roll away. Get those dice out. Start chucking those four-sided dice. You need to do 1 dice roll. Wizard only gets 1 four-sided dice. Now, with regard to what do we add? Well, we don't add our constitution modifier when we're leveling up. Level 1 is the only time you get your constitution modifier. After that, it's just the dice that you roll. Okay? So if you're wondering, that's how it works. And I am sure people are fairly quickly realizing that they can roll this and be done in no time. I don't know if I can necessarily find the exact page where it states why and how that works, but if I can, I will while you guys are rolling stuff. Shiner rolled a 2, Noroak rolled a 3. Oh, the blank character sheet. The blank character sheet is, if you go to the link down in the description of this live stream, you'll find that you can get the quick start rolls, and part of that download is also the fillable empty character sheet. So this character sheet I got from Drive-Through RPG. It's part of the package. It's part of the quick play package. Okay. I can't do anything with that for whatever reason. Something else is going on there, so I'll leave it alone. Yes, in the description. Okay, Brian's rolled a 3. Fred has rolled a 1. Okay, so now that means that because we're not adding our constitution modifier at level 2, we don't need to worry about losing any of our hit points. So Fred, I'm going to take your 1. We're going to add your 1 on. We're now level 2. So we'll take that. So we were 3, it's now 4. We've got 4 hit points. Once you don't keep stacking your XP. Once you get to 10 XP, it cuts off, and anything extra you have is lost. So try not to get too many extra experience points when you're leveling up. And now the next level required is you need 20 experience points to get to level 3 from level 2. So that's for level 1. Yeah, nice and simple. And actually, wait, what I might do here is, instead of pumping this in just yet, since the change is so minor, we will save this as a wizard at level 1. Where am I? And rules, Shadowdark, wizard, level 1, save. Okay, done. Whoops, wrong one. That should be a 3, not a 1. 3, let's try it again. Sorry about that, people. Shadowdark character, okay. Shadowdark character, level 1, wizard. And save. Yes. Okay, there's the level 1 character. Level 2, we got a 1 with our hit points, so that's now 4. This goes to 2. This is 0, and this should be a 20. And that's the only change we really needed to make. That's it. So level 2. And where's the wizard? Level 1. We go level 2. Save that. Next, going to level 3. So now we need 30. It's always the next lot of experience points you need is your level times 10. 30. So we're going to get you to roll more hit points. Actually, I'll just take an existing one that somebody's rolled. That would probably be easier. Who else has rolled here? Norok has rolled. Fred has rolled. Brian has rolled. Let's take Shiners 2. Don't add the Constitution modifier, just add the dice roll. So that becomes 4 and goes to 6. That's level 3. But we also need to do a talent roll. Part of this process is the talent roll. And if I can just, yeah, there we go. So we're going to do a talent roll for our a wizard. Let's just find the wizard. Level 3. Gear, wizard, languages, titles, wizard. Here we go. Right. Wonderful. That's what we were after. We should also have another spell, which I didn't put in, which I probably should. I forgot about that. Somebody else had listed another spell that they wanted before. I can just add that in now. How many spells do we have? Had Burning Hands, that Magic Missile. Somebody had said, let's have Magic Missile. So at level 2, sorry, I'll go backward again. That's 4 hit points. Magic Missile. Magic Missile. And that should be 20. Sorry, people, I'm just making some quick adjustments. And that's that. That's that. Magic Missile is probably going to be 50 something here. No spells. Magic Missile. How does Magic Missile work? Magic Missile. You have advantage on your next on your check to cast the spell. Okay, so you have advantage. It's far. So, okay. A glowing bolt of force streaks from your open hand, dealing 1d4 damage to one target. So you have advantage on spell casting, which is good. And it is 1d4 damage. Yep. And let's do that. We'll put in a page number as well. What is the page number? Page number is 63. 63. Okay. All right. That's level 2. Let's do this. Shadowdark. Shadowdark. Wizard level 2. Save. Okay. All right. And back to our... That's gameplay. That's titles. Should be right about... Oh, that's priest. That's wizard. Thief. Wizard. Okay. There we go. All right. At level 3, we still have only 4 first tier spells, so we don't have to worry about changing our spell output. But we will be doing a tier at level 3, because at level 3 character advancement, we get a tier. So I'll get you to roll for that now. Hashtag. New talent. Oh, you guys have already rolled talents. Okay, here we go. Let's put it down. New talent. You got an 8, Fred. Brian Burton got a 4 and a 6, which comes to 4 and 6 is a 10. So yeah, you get a couple options. 5 different things potentially every time you get a talent, which is every odd level. Make one random magic. Make one random magic item, and then it gives you some example of whatever magic item you make, which is quite a big boon. We've done the +2 to intelligence stat or +1 to wisdom spellcasting checks. You go with your intelligence until you get to 18 is probably the best way to go. The 8 to 9 is gain advantage on spellcasting one spell you know. Learn one additional wizard spell of any tier you know, and then choose a talent or a choose a talent. So you get to pick whatever you want, or +2 points to distribute to stats. So you get to go any stats you want to change. So that's on a 12. You roll the 4. I'm going to get you to roll those dice again, people. Hashtag roll 2 6-sided dice for talent at level, not at Kevil, level 3. All right. You're going to cast Wally's Annoying Hand, not even a cantrip. Lovely. Okay. You cast Fist. Lovely. Okay, all right. Stick your numbers in. I'll give you time to do that, and then we'll pick it. And that'll be done. We'll be over. So I've kind of decided that next week we're going to build the Priest, because it's another spellcaster. It's kind of like the Cleric, or I guess the Paladin. I guess the Priest is kind of a mix of the Paladin and the Cleric, and really the Paladin was always sort of an offshoot of the Cleric anyway. Hello, Ethan. Well, you've got a 4 and a 1, which would make a 5. Shiner got a 6 and a 4, which I'm kind of interested to try something new. And then 5 and 1 is a 6. We've kind of done that one before. Let's go with learn one additional wizard spell of any tier you know. So we can only know tier 1 spells, but instead of having just 4 spells, we could have 5 spells. Gives us a lot more. A 1 and a 1. You rolled a 1 and a 1. Do you guys really want me to go through making one random magic item? That's the GM's quick start. I don't know if I've got the GM's quick start. I think I've got the player's quick start, but do I have the GM's quick start? That's another story. That's players. Let's see if I can open it. Open. GM's quick start. It's a big document, and it's probably not going to be that easy to find the GM's quick start for it. Magic items, page 46. Is page 46 the place to go? It may well be. Let's have a look. I'll just scroll on down here. 46. Okay. Magic items. Benefit. We've got magic items here. I don't know where it is. It would be too hard. So we're going to pick another spell, because that I can deal with. That's easy enough. Wizard talent. New spell. Whoops. Wizard talent. New spell. Thank you, Noroak, for the super chat of $5. It's been fun as always. Thank you for... No, it's been a great time. So there's been a battle going on, people, between... I believe it is... The battle's been going on between Dungeons & Dragons 3.5 as a rule system to go over, and Star Wars Saga. I'm doing Star Wars Saga tomorrow, people, which means that Dungeons & Dragons 3.5 is on the cards for the future sometime. So you do not need to wig out. It'll be all right. Okay, so let's pick a spell. Hashtag. Later, gents. Phone is dying. I'll see you later, Dungeons and Chronics, if you're still here. That is. Hashtag. So pick a new spell. Okay, sweet. Yeah, definitely going to go with the... I wanted to go with the 10. I wanted to go with... Let's pick a new spell. Because we kind of tried the other one. And I'll come back to magic items when I'm a bit more familiar with the system. Because this is just part of the rule system. It's not the complete rule system, right? This is just a quick start. So pick a spell. You get to pick Alarm. We've already got Burning Hands, Charm Person, Detect Magic, Featherfall, Floating Disc, Hold Portal, Light. We've already got Mage Armor. We've already got Magic Missile, or Protection from Evil. We've already got Sleep. So you've just got to pick one. How's that sound? And that will make our character level 3. How's it going? Has anybody decided on what it's going to be? Pick a spell. Pick a spell, people. Pick a spell. You pick a spell, I get to go. I should be going to work. As you know. What's my new spell, people? And this is level 3. We got some. Are we getting some Misty? We don't have Misty Step. It's not on the list. There is no Misty Step. If I scroll down, you see no Misty Step. Just these spells here, not Misty Step. And we had somebody roll up a 2, so that's actually 6 hit points for that one. Okay, what do we got here? Web. We don't. There's look. There's no web. It's not an option. Web is for tier 2, and we're not tier 2. We're dear. Oh, Protection from Evil. There we go. Shiner 81. He's got it. Protection from Evil. Well done. From Evil. Okay, I don't know what Protection from Evil does in this game, but we'll have a look. It's probably going to be something like that. Tier 2 at level 3. If I missed one, let me have a look. Tier 2 at level 3. You reckon? You're probably right. I would have missed it, right? I've been all over the place. This is the problem when you try to do a live stream. Level 3. Oh, we do get a tier 2. You are right. Interesting. Okay. Tier 2. So we've got 3. All right, so let's go with tier 2. Yes, you can have web. You can have web. Somebody said something else. Misty Step. I don't think there's Misty Step in here, is there? So we do have. So we got. Much to my surprise. Good spotting, people. Where is it? Spells. There is Misty Step. All right. Sorry about that. You get Misty Step. How's that sound? Level 2, Misty Step. Dear. Misty. Come on, Fred. Misty Step. Misty Step. All right, I got Misty Step. So we got Magic Missile. We've got Sleep, Burning Hands, Mage Armor. That's 1, 2, 3, 4. There should be one more spell, shouldn't there? I'm sure there should be one more. 1, 2, 3, 4. And we get an extra spell for our talent, which is going to be Misty Step. I think that's right. 1, 2, 3. No, it should be as many as is on the chart. So that means, let me just get this right. 3, 4, and another 1. All right. Okay. So we should have another spell in there as well, which means at level 3 we can pick another one, which means you can have web as well. I just realized there should be 5 spells. Web. So you should have Misty Step and web. Correct? 1, 2, 3, 4, and the other one, and web. Would be about right, I'm pretty sure. Okay, let's just see if I can just find this Misty Step, little sucker. Misty Step, Puff of Wind, Teleport near. Okay, so that's page 63. Teleport. And that is page 63. And then web. Web. Where are we? Web is on page 65. Far. Okay, you create a near-sized cube. Near-sized cube. And it is page, was it 64? I think it was. Is that page 64? 65. Page 65. All right, let me just check to make sure I got it all right. A little bit of a mess up on my part. I see everybody's like, no, we can take that. Obviously, everybody else is reading the instructions, and I'm getting lost. Okay, let's have a look. No, level, that's names, level advancement. Yes. And then wizard, alignment, wizard table. Okay, so it should be 4 level 1 spells and a second level spell, and we've got the talent roll, so that makes it 5. So there should be 6 spells in total on the sheet. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Done. Got it. New spell. Bracket web. Ah, there we go. All right, let's save that little sucker. Shadowdark, level 3. All right, so I do feel like there may be a couple of things that would be good if they were... I guess the problem is I'm navigating on a PDF. Navigating on a PDF is much harder than navigating through a book, I've always found. So maybe that's part of the problem. In any case, we are done for today. We got a level 1 character done, we got a level 2 character done, we got a level 3 character done, and Fred is done. And we'll be back. We're doing the Priest next week, and Star Wars Saga, the role-playing game, we're doing tomorrow. You reckon you can stop my time from running? I don't think that's going to happen. I think I am definitely going to be late for work today. I'm going to get myself into a lot of trouble. I'm hoping that if people feel like that the format and the speed at which we were going and just the way we sort of changed things up worked for you, good. I think what happened is when we start going and assigning every single ability score, it just slowed everything down. So I just did it as a great huge bunch or batch so that we could keep moving things along. Okay, so you've got all the things that you really wanted. Your wizard may survive a bit longer. Oh, that's the hope in any case. So have you made a Shadowdark wizard before? No. 87% said no. Just watching 7%. Yes. 3%. Incomplete 0. So now that you have seen me make the errors and mistakes in building a wizard, there's no excuse. You can handle it, right? You can see how to do it now because I balled things up and you can see where the issues were and where I didn't make problems. Maybe that's how it is. I don't know. Priest next week. Anyway, I want to say a huge thank you to my patrons who support me on Patreon so I can keep doing this every week. I do appreciate it. Thank you so much. I want to thank everybody who took part in the poll today, everybody who's been rolling dice and commenting and responding in the chat. It's been really, really helpful. Thank you for doing so. If you were just watching, that's cool too. Thank you for being here. I do appreciate it. hugely welcome. Keep coming back because we keep making characters. And thank you for those of you who are rewatching. So, hey, wherever you are in the world, whether it be the morning, the afternoon, the night, or the wee early morning, please look after yourself, your family, and your friends. Be nice to your neighbours. Be nice to your neighbours. Try out Shadowdark RPG. See what you think about making a character with it. And hey, till next time, keep rolling those 20s.